Alright YouTube, what's happening? Got a tabletop review we're going to do today of the Palmetto State Armory 6.5 Creedmoor PA10, PA65, what do you want to call it? It's their PA10 line of rifles. And I have to do this inside. It's really rainy outside, so didn't have it. But I did wanted to give a kind of quick first impressions range report after shooting this guy for the first time and kind of go over some issues I had with it and the good things. So the optic I'm using, just to go over this first, is the Bushnell AR Optics 465 Creedmoor. It has a BDC reticle out to 600 yards on there with a bullet drop compensation. So being that it's 465 Creedmoor, it was pretty affordable. I thought, this will be a good optic to throw on this affordable AR-10 rifle. Obviously there's better optics out there, and down the road may switch, but this is what we're starting with. So got it zeroed yesterday at 100 yards, and it took about one box of ammo. And I could have probably saved a lot of ammo, but I was also trying to determine reliability, because one thing that's been kind of an issue with these guns is the gas system. It has an adjustable gas block right underneath here, and it has basically two adjustment points. It has one up here in the front and then one on the side. In fact, let me flip it around so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So right here, there's a little set screw right about there, and from what I saw online, there's kind of some misinformation, misunderstandings. I think it's also some caused by Palmetto. They actually kind of put these adjustable gas blocks on these guns. Some people were having reliability issues because they were overgassed. Obviously, having an adjustable gas block is a good idea for a gun if you're going to run suppressed, especially. And eventually I do want to do that, so that was something that that was important to me, so that's why I like this idea of the adjustable gas block. However, apparently this gas block isn't necessarily the best, and some of them were installed incorrectly with the set screws basically turned around. So this front screw that goes under the handguard that connects right to the gas system should be the one that you adjust the gas with. This one on the side should lock that down, so it's like you loosen this to adjust the gas so it functions properly. Then you kind of tie that one, or screw this one down. Apparently some of these screws have been flipped, where the long screws on this side and the short screws on this side. So I was under the impression that this was the adjustment screw on the side, which it's not. It's actually the one that locks it down. It's a set screw. The adjustment screw is on the gas block, which makes way more sense. But I didn't know that when I was at the range, because of some things I had heard and on a few different videos. Robski did a video on one, and so did Mr. Guns Gear, and they both had issues with the gas block. So has a few different people. Some people have been able to get it tuned, and I was just tuning incorrectly. So I did have some malfunctions with two types of ammo. I shot this Winchester white box, 125 grains, kind of light for the caliber. It actually fed these really well. I think I had maybe about 4 out of 20, which isn't great. Then the cellular and Bellet 140 grain I also shot had about the same, maybe a little bit more malfunctions. So I thought I was adjusting the gas by just moving that, and I really wasn't. So that's not the gun's fault. It was still pretty much mostly reliable, and it shot well, got it zeroed, and I wasn't really going for accuracy more, but it was grouping pretty well. So I know this gun is capable of sub-MOA groups, and it's capable of reaching way out there. So I know that once I take it in the next range trip, I'm going to be shooting for accuracy and getting that gas system dialed in, so it will cycle 100% of the time. It did most of the time. What the issue I was having was I was getting double feeds, and I was going to sit behind this, but I'm just standing, so roll with me. Let's go ahead and open this up. So I was using a PMAG, oops, which of course that's what you would use on a rifle like this, is a PMAG, and I was using a 10-round PMAG, and I was getting double feeds, essentially what I was getting. So this might be a question for you guys that are more knowledgeable out there. I think that was caused by the maybe being overgassed, possibly, I don't know. But I was getting where it would try to feed 2 rounds into the chamber. That was the only thing that happened. Typically it would eject the rounds just fine without any issues. And it was just more of the double feeds. So I'm assuming that's more to do with the gas than anything, but it could be something different. that's just kind of my experience. This is what this is about. It's kind of a range report. But it was a pleasure to shoot. It was not, the recoil is very, very manageable. Like I said, shooting accurately at 100 yards. Wasn't really shooting for accuracy. I wasn't shooting like match grade ammo. I do have some Hornady match grade ammo, the ELD, I think it's called, ELO maybe. It's pretty popular that a lot of people recommended for this rifle, and I think that was the ammo that Robski really liked in his. And I've also got some 6 Sauer match grade 6.5 Creedmoor, and I've got another box of this. So I'm going to shoot some more ammo out of it, do some accuracy testing obviously, but I want to make sure that gas system's dialed in. Now along with this, I was testing out the Magpul M-Lock bipod, and I had this thing installed on here on the M-Lock handguard of the PA10, and it came completely loose on me, which is crazy because I actually wasn't even using the bipod. I was using a rifle rest that the range had, and I just kind of had it sitting there, and this attachment point here on the M-Lock rail came loose. I don't know why it did. I mean, I really had that thing snug down, but it did, so I'm going to see how it does on the next range pattern. It could be something with this handguard, or it could just be that something, it just came loose and I need to Loctite the screws better. I put blue Loctite on there though, so I don't understand why it would come loose. But overall, my first experience with this rifle was good, minus those mishaps. But I kind of knew going into it that I may have some gas issues, and I just wasn't adjusting it correctly. And again, that was because there's a lot of misinformation on the internet. There was even an email that I found online at one of the forums that was sent by a Palmetto State Armory employee saying that the side was the gas adjustment, and the front was the set screw, and I think it should be the opposite. I mean, it makes a lot more sense for the gas adjustment to be up front on the gas block than on the side. And I will say that, sorry about that delay, we had a little bit of the memory card went full on me. So the front screws should be longer according to what I understand to be correct, and then the side screw should be smaller set. That's the way mine is. Basically all I was doing is unlocking it and not adjusting the gas. So next time I'm going to unlock the set screw on the left side here and change this screw underneath here. You can't really see it, but it's just a simple Allen adjustment. So, and the trick with these is to put one round in the magazine, unlock the gas thing, and then make sure it locks back on each mag. And if it does that, then your gas shooting should be fine. If it doesn't, then adjust the gas as needed. So hopefully it doesn't take too much adjustment, but overall, it was a good experience, fun rifle, very accurate, very not horrible recoil at all for shooting a big, not a big caliber, but a 30 caliber, comparable to a 308, just much faster or flatter shooting. So I'm excited to try out some different loads, see what we can get for accuracy on this guy, and I'll continue to review the optic. It's so far held up just great. Didn't take too long to get zeroed. The glass is pretty good quality, not the highest quality obviously. I do like this throw lever a lot. This worked really well, and the turret adjustments and everything were really crisp and had good clicks, and got it all zeroed, so I don't want to mess with it obviously, but overall, good experience. So thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for more videos on the 6.5 Creedmoor AR-10 from Palmetto State Armory. Thanks for watching.